Hello, hello, hello. How are you? It is I, Miss Adele, Miss Adele, Miss Adele. Yes, Miss Adele, Miss Adele. Here in Brooklyn, New York, in the Red Hook section of Brooklyn. Whoop, whoop. It is about 3 o'clock p.m. It's actually about 3:05 p.m. here on the Eastern Coast. So, the question I have for you today is simply this, or this is the thought. The thought is to be or not to be. Your choice. To be or not to be. Do you choose to be the best version of you or not? Do you even think about it? So, this particular phrase comes from these lines in a William Shakespeare play of Hamlet, right? And Hamlet, in his opening lines, asks whether it is better to be or not to be, meaning to live or to die. If anyone knows the story of Hamlet, he has some issues going on, as we all will have issues. And the question for us on today is how we choose to handle the different issues that we experience, right? The question for us today is, do we choose to be or not to be? Um, and he says, most people would say that it is better or it's just better to be, meaning that you exist, that you are living. And so on today, my question once again is, do you choose to be or not to be? So that could go a whole lot of different ways. You can choose to be better in your relationships. You can choose to be better in your physical health. You can choose to be better in your mental health. You can choose to be better in your spiritual health. Or you can just choose to ignore any or all of those particular parts of what makes you you. Um, there's always a better version of ourselves where maybe we're kinder, maybe we're gentler, maybe we're smarter, maybe we're just better in whatever area it is we're trying to pursue, right? And so on today, do you choose to be or not to be? Do you choose on this day to enjoy the things in life that you have? Or do you choose not to by not appreciating the things that God has gifted you with, God has blessed you with? Do you choose to be good with who you are? Your color, the shape of your eyes, the color of your hair, the texture of your hair, the size of your body, the makeup of your body. Do you choose to embrace that, to be that what you have been made to be? Or do you choose not to? And so now you want to go and you want to do all these extra additions or subtractions, trying to be something that you are not. That's good right there, Holy Spirit. Yeah. Do you choose to be? So I'm not saying now, don't get me wrong. I am not saying that Ruby saying something. I'm not saying that there's anything the matter with changing your hair, wearing eyelashes, nails, makeup. I'm not saying anything is wrong with that. But sometimes what happens, we women can choose to do so much alterations to our look, our outside look, that we end up being someone different on the outside. But guess what? You're still you on the inside. So do you choose just to be who you are? Or do you choose to not be who you were meant to be? Yeah, it's a question. Do you choose to live the best life that you can? And living the best life that you can is not about money. it's not about material things. I say this a lot because it's true. Money comes and goes. Material things do not last. Relationships, some relationships do not last, because with relationships, people can come into your life for a reason and for a season. Sometimes they're only there for a particular time of your life to teach you a lesson, to have the experience of something, to help you grow, and they move on once their assignment is done. We don't always know what our assignment is when we meet certain people or become involved with some people. And sometimes what happens is that when those people walk out of our lives, we now feel a certain way, but maybe they weren't meant to be in your life for all that time that you wanted them to be. And so the question then becomes, do you decide to be who you are with or without them? So the question on today is to be or not to be. It's up to you, the decision that you make. You can either go left, you can go right, you can go up, you can go down. But guess what? You can't do them all at the same time. So you might choose to go left this time. You might choose to go right this time. And that's funny. So about an hour ago, I went out to run an errand. It was more than an hour ago. And I had a choice. Everything I was going to do was within a 4-block radius. It was in a radius, right? And I was like, I could walk it, but I had a choice since I have a car, right? I'm like, but if I get in the car, I can go faster and cover more ground quicker, and I could get things and put them in the car as versus having to carry them from one place to another. So once again, it's a choice that I had to make. The choice that I was going to walk this way, then come back and walk and have bags, or just hop in my car that God blessed me to have and blessed me to be able to drive, and to do that. So once again, so guess what Miss Adele did? Miss Adele jumped in her car. And I was just so glad I did, because it was just so much more convenient for me to do that than to do the other option. And once again, when we think about this, when we consider the thought to be or not to be, it's a simple choice. And technically, when I think about it now, it's more simpler for you to be you than to try to be someone else, because you have been made a unique way. There is no other person on this earth that is made up exactly like you. Everyone has a unique blueprint for how they came out, what part of the country they were born in, where your demographics were, who your parents was. Everybody has a unique design. So be that instead of being something else. And yes, of course, you can enhance who you are by enlightening your mind, getting more education, learning about different things. You can enhance your look by wearing jewelry, doing your nails, doing makeup, changing your hair. But be the original you that is inside. That's who the real you is. Because after the wig come off, and after the makeup come off, and after everything is off, guess what? Guess what you're left with? You. I read this. There was this funny joke on Facebook the other day, and it said, it was a little comic about a married couple. They had just, it's a comic though, right? Cartoon characters. They had just gotten married, and they show you the man and the woman are in the bed, but he's up She's still turned on her side sleep, but he's on he's on the phone and he's telling somebody on the phone, I don't know who I woke up with, right? It was funny. You had to see it. Because what the story was, when they got married and went to bed, she looked one way. But overnight, I guess something, whatever. I don't know, right? But anyway, my point is this. When all is said and done, all you really have is who you are, right? And if we are able to embrace who we are, we'll be much more happier. If we stop trying to lose so much weight to be skinny when you're not meant to be skinny, then guess what? You're going to end up being miserable because one of the things, you're going to be hungry. You're going to be hungry because you ain't eating. That's funny. And so you're going to be miserable. And if you are denying the things that you really love, that's not going to cause you no happiness whatsoever. So on today, the thought is to be or not to be. Do you choose to be the best version of yourself that you can? Whatever that entails. Mentally, being sharp. Physically, being healthy. Spiritually, being in touch with your spirit, man or woman. That's what's important. And when you're able to embrace that and unite all those things together, you'll be a much better version of you. Stay blessed. Bye-bye.